What up, guys? Welcome to another AMA. I hope you had a great holiday break. For me, there's never really a break. Of course, I take breaks, I do my thing, but like it's kind of constant work. But yeah, I went to Austin, Texas with Lance, Dylan, and them, and that was really fun. Filmed some content there, went on Squid Pactor's podcast. If you want to see that full episode, just look up Squid Talk, you'll see it. And then I went to Portland area to visit my girlfriend's family. It was fun, and her dad has a sauna and a pool that's like 32 degrees. So I was up in there doing cold plunge in the pool, going back to the sauna. I basically made him buy a sauna a few years ago. And then I came back for one day, and I drove up to Tahoe to go visit some of my buddies. My buddy has a house up there. I snowboard. Not that great at it, but getting better. Landed some jumps this time, and yeah, I'm gonna get more into it this season, of course, because my buddy has that house up there. So that was fun, but honestly, I am so glad to be back in my routine. I was able to stay completely on my diet, bringing a bunch of Way Better bars, bringing our protein powder, bringing our supplements everywhere I went with us, was just key. And now we're getting after it, dude. It's 2024. You got all these people with their New Year's resolutions. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to do this. Let's see who actually sticks to it. We did just launch our pre-workout. I'm so stoked on this. I've been using it for months, honestly. I'm not going to post about it when it's not available. So I'll start to do some more in-depth posts on the pre-workout. Vasodrive AP, L-citrulline, electrolytes, acetyl L-carnitine, alpha-GPC, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors, no gut-harming gums or additives or silicone dioxide or titanium dioxide. Try it out, 30 scoops in there, and it's delicious. So let's get into this week's AMA. You've left your questions below. Let's get it. Brendan, what do you think about advanced glycation end products? These are oftentimes what people are referring to is basically when you cook meat, the crispy parts of meat or the burnt parts of meats, heterocyclic amines, can have issues. So I'm actually not too concerned with these. Now, I think it's valid that you don't want to be eating like burnt meat all the time, and you should be mixing it up, where like I'll cook my beef stew and there's almost no, burnt ends on that beef stew, right? Now, there are studies showing that a lot of this damage can be curbed by meat that's marinated. Why is that? The polyphenols in a marinade have been shown to basically stop the damage from these heterocyclic amines and AGEs. So what does that tell me? It tells me that if you are eating a really nutrient-dense diet and you have a lot of polyphenols in your diet, you might not need to worry about these compounds. In my opinion, human beings have been eating meat cooked over fire forever. Okay. And we drop dead of cancer a lot today, but I think that's two different things than meat that has crispy edges. So I think it's kind of ridiculous that people make a big deal about this. It's interesting for sure, but when you look at a study like showing that if you look up marinades, HCA's, meat, PubMed, you'll be able to read that study if you want. Keep your diet rich in polyphenols, of course, blueberries, fruits, vegetables, potatoes. These are polyphenol-rich foods. Have those in your diet, and I think you're good. Brendan, every time I travel to a new climate, my throat and head hurt, and they're just dealing with that. Any suggestions? Yes, so what you're probably dealing with is a change in humidity. You might live in a humid environment, and then you're traveling to an environment that has low humidity. Humidity is something I've been obsessing with lately over the last couple months, because there are tons of studies showing that low humid, arid environments can disrupt your immune function, your throat and nasal function a lot, and that can disrupt your immune function. Your nose is trying to humidify the air as you breathe in, and it does. When you breathe in air through your nose, it humidifies the air, and it also adds more nitric oxide, which helps prevent against infection. So this is an amazing, intelligent design of a human being, and this is why you shouldn't breathe through your mouth unless you're doing some really hard exercise or break your nose, whatever. You should be breathing through your nose, so start there. However, you should probably buy a humidifier and have it in your home. That's also a very good idea. What I do when I land in a dry, arid environment is if I'm in a hotel room, I will try to increase the humidity in that hotel room. Basically, if you have the shower running for a little while, and the hotel probably thinks I'm crazy, why is this dude running the shower for 15 minutes? That can literally humidify your room a little bit. You could go buy a humidifier if you're at a place for an extended time. That can be a huge benefit. At my buddy's place in Tahoe that I was just in, he's super dialed in with his health. There is a humidifier in every damn room because he knows that when you're in a low humidity environment and you're trying to breathe that air in, it can lead to sickness. It's not good for you. So dial that in. Look at the humidity. Brendan, what should I do if I have mold in my carpet? What are the health concerns with that? Well, bro, get rid of that carpet or get it cleaned. I mean, this is an easy one to answer. Yeah, there are health concerns with mold. And if it's in something like your carpet, dude, you don't need to deal with that. You should get rid of that. That is a health concern. It gets a little more complex when people have mold in their house, right? Because they oftentimes can't just move. So you can do things to get a mold tester out and remove it. Or if you rent a place, oftentimes the landlord in many states will have to remove that mold for you. So you can play that game with them. But yeah, if it's on your carpet, bro, what are you doing? Brendan, what do you think about chocolate milk? So my issue with chocolate milk is not the chocolate or the milk. Love those. However, my issue is the immense amount of processed sugar that many of those have. I think Strauss has one that doesn't have a lot of processed sugar, like it's like 5, 6, 7 grams. That's not too bad if you're an athlete and you're really churning through stuff, but I still don't like what processed sugar potentially does for your gut health. It just doesn't, it's not something that I want. How I make chocolate milk is, bro, I throw in a scoop of our chocolate protein into some whole milk and blend it in. It tastes like the best chocolate milk ever for me. So that's what I do. Let me know below if you've tried that. Brendan, what do you think about cryotherapy? Cryotherapy became a huge trend a few years ago, and it's basically these devices that have this like liquid nitrogen gas almost or whatever, and it makes you extremely cold. I've done it multiple times. You go to these places, you stand in a big room or in a circular kind of thing, and you do cryotherapy, and it makes you very cold very fast. However, I do not think the benefits of cryotherapy outweigh the benefits of an ice bath. Cold exposure can help with a variety of things. You're talking norepinephrine, different types of stimulating neurotransmitters, and it can help with some muscle recovery. However, I do not think that you should be doing cold immersion every single day. I think there's some benefits to doing it once or twice per week, maybe more if it's something that you really feel like is just helping you in so many ways. But for many people, it can cause an excess of cortisol, which is your major stress hormone, which can have some negative downstream effects. It can also limit muscle hypertrophy. So if you're an athlete trying to gain muscle and you do it daily, it could limit muscle hypertrophy. Look into those. Jump in a cold ice bath. You're probably going to be good. Brendan, how would you go about finding a girlfriend today if you were in your 20s? So I have my fiance. I'm very lucky. I met her a while ago when I worked at Papa John's, bro. And we've just built together, and it's amazing. I know her very well. I know her family. And that is hard to find today. There are some demon women out there that like, oh my God, like we were in the casino in Tahoe walking around, and a lot of my friends are single. So they're like looking around, and dude, I'm just like, these women are horrible, bro. Cigarettes smoking, saggy skin, alcoholic, they look like annoying as shit. Oh my God, dude. It's like, I feel bad for them. What I honestly would suggest for many people is to find a girl from abroad. Dead serious. Like my buddy Lance started dating a girl. She's from Brazil. She lives here. I think she goes to Berkeley or something. But sometimes women that are born in Mexico or Brazil or whatever, Spain, sometimes they have better values than women that were born in America. Not to say there's not plenty of women in America that have great values. I would try to find somebody that has good values. And another tip is when you start meeting women, be yourself right out the gate. I've known people that they meet a woman, they change for them, and then they can never be themselves fully again when they're around them. It's horrible, dude. Oh my God. So be yourself, and if somebody doesn't like you, whatever, at least you were yourself. Brendan, how would you go about losing love handles, that fat that just kind of sits right here? You don't want that. Okay. Listen, there's no difference between losing love handles and losing fat in other spots of the body, okay? You cannot spot lose fat. You can't do a bunch of ab exercises and just lose fat in your abs. That doesn't exist, okay? Your fat disposition in terms of like where your body is going to put fat on your body is genetic, okay? Different people are going to put fat different places. And for you, you have it in your love handles. What do you need to do? You need to go into a slight calorie deficit over time until that fat starts to come off. I wouldn't do an intense calorie deficit because it's a little tough to jump into, but that's what you need to do. The easiest way to get there is by upping your protein and lowering your carbohydrates slightly. Don't go no carb. Eat some carbohydrates, a little bit of fruit pre-workout, a little bit of potatoes or rice in the evening, veggies, cool. But keep it lower on the carbohydrates and up that protein. Find your target body weight. Let's say you want to weigh 180 pounds. Eat 180 grams of protein per day. Lower the carbohydrates, go into a slight calorie deficit, exercise, of course, hit your abs, of course, and you will see those love handles disappear. Let me know how it goes. Brendan, what do you think about using lemons on your armpit as deodorant? So there actually can be some benefits of doing that. However, I just use a natural deodorant. There's a lot of good brands out there right now. I'm not really going to list some. Some dude sent me beef tallow deodorant samples, and that's what I use right now. It's in like an unmarked thing because I don't even think he has a company, but it's great. Find one that works for you and use probably a natural deodorant. However, you could use lemon. I mean, look, human beings never wore deodorant ever. And dead serious, when you start to get healthier, you don't smell as much. And people below, I mean, let me know if you've experienced this, but like I have a really close friend group, right? It's a bunch of guys, and they will be 100% honest with me if I smell. I use natural deodorant. I go to the gym, all that type of stuff. I will ask my friends, do I smell? Will be honest with me, okay? These dudes don't give a shit if they say, yo, you smell bad. And I don't. And it's because I'm healthier now. And so there's not like bad bacteria on me. Certain times when I'll go to jiu-jitsu and I'm, rolling with a bunch of people and I've like grappled with like 10, 12 people, I'll smell. So look into it, but you might not even need to use deodorant. Let me know what you think below. Brennan, my dad is 49 years old and he just got a lab test that showed high cholesterol. What should he do? What food should he eat to lower his cholesterol? So it's going to lower your cholesterol is if you lower the amount of saturated fat you're eating. This comes from butter, this comes from cheese, this comes from the fatty part of red meat. However, in my opinion, you should probably look a bit deeper into the cholesterol issue. Cholesterol can be an issue. I am not telling people that you should have high cholesterol and that's a great thing and eat sticks of butter. However, there is a huge debate right now on the intricacies of cholesterol. So if he's an extremely healthy human being, he's in great shape, has abs, can run, has very good cardiovascular health and endurance, his triglycerides are low, his C-reactive protein is low, and maybe his cholesterol is just slightly elevated, it might not be as much of a concern as if he is obese, has very high inflammatory biomarkers, doesn't have good cardiovascular health and VO2 max. That can be a concern. So look into the nuances of that. But if you do want to lower your cholesterol, start cutting down on that saturated fat, eating leaner cuts of meat, and throwing in more foods like fruits and veggies. Brennan, how much screen time is too much screen time? Well, I have an interesting answer to this. It depends what you're doing on that screen. For me, when I'm on the screen, I'm building a community of millions of people who are interested in health and wellness and are bettering their lives. I truly feel from the bottom of my heart, I'm putting out a pretty good impact on society, regardless of what some people think. Now, if your screen time is just mindlessly scrolling and it's really not bettering your life, you're not like learning stuff. I mean, hell, man, if you're watching this right now and you're deep into this episode, you've probably learned a few things that are going to directly benefit your life. You really need to be careful with the content that you consume. If you are just if you're watching like Jack Doherty videos or something like that, that can be really mind-numbing stuff. And I think any amount of that is too much unless you're just laughing at it for a few seconds. So you really got to notice what you experience and what you see. However, yeah, too much screen time can have negative effects on your eye health, on your brain health. That area is going to be different for everybody. I'd really try to limit it at night. Spend plenty of time outdoors. Put your gaze somewhere far away for at least 20 minutes. Take breaks. It's really going to depend, though. I don't have an exact answer for you there. Brendan, is Ovaltine good for you? It's like this chocolate milk mix. I mean, we discovered chocolate milk earlier in there. No, it has an immense amount of sugar, bro. If you want to make a chocolate milk, go get some cocoa powder, go get some whole milk, put it into heat it up, put it into a blender, put in some maple syrup, little touch of, cinnamon, a little touch of salt in there, and you're going to make a real chocolate milk that's absolutely delicious. And you're going to be able to sweeten it naturally with maple syrup and honey, regardless, you don't want processed sugar. So no, man, get off that Ovaltine. Brendan, how do I know if I'm getting REM sleep? I've seen ads for these Whoop bands and other sleep trackers. How do I know if they're legit or not? So the sleep tracking through Aura and Whoop is actually pretty decent, I would say. I don't think it's at a perfect place, but it's actually pretty good. I've tried some of these wearables. I've never worked with any of these companies because I want to be able to freely speak on them, right? And what I would say is the data seems pretty good. And if you want to wear one of those, I would wear it for sleep. The actual data that I can give you during the day is sometimes what I don't like is how they interpret the data. So let's say you're trying to get in amazing shape. It's going to tell you at certain times that you're overtraining. And this term overtraining, man, I sometimes get a little upset. Yeah, overtraining can be real. You can harm your immune system by overtraining. But for some people, they need short bouts of overtraining to just sort of reset their life and just reset their body. So not really a big fan of that. But yeah, those sleep trackers can be valuable. Brennan, is the Dylan Latham and K. Shami beef real? The answer is yes. That beef is real. So, man, it's crazy. And if you knew what K did, I don't know if you'd still rock with them. Brendan, how do I get rid of a blocked nose? So here is a protocol that you can do to get rid of a blocked nose. The first thing you're going to do, and you can Google this if you want more info on it, is you're basically going to breathe out through your nose. You're going to plug your nose so you have no air. You're like almost going to be like dying of no air, but don't do that. But you're going to breathe out all the way and then tilt your head up and back. So it looks like this. I can hold my breath for a while, so I'm not gonna like do it like it's gonna get boring. You're gonna do 3 to 5 rounds of that, okay? That right there will start to clear up your nose. Then what you're going to do is you're gonna buy something on Amazon or wherever called a neti pot. It's like a few bucks. Don't like waste money on a fancy one. A neti pot, okay? You're gonna mix up salt water, like get some Himalayan salt or sea salt, make a really salty water to where like you wouldn't want to drink it really, okay? Then you're going to take the neti pot, you basically pour it in one nostril and it'll come out the other nostril. You're going to do that, blow your nose, go back, do that same thing about 2 times. There you go. Your nose will be clear. Let me know below if you've tried that. It's amazing. Brendan, does icing your face work for your skin? You've seen creators like Sam Zia like sell these things where they ice their face, and does this work for your skin? Well, the answer is yes, it does provide some benefits. As far as works, like, is this going to prevent acne or like fix wrinkles? No, not necessarily, but it will provide a short-term, basically boost in collagen production for one, and a boost in basically the appearance of your skin. It will give you that natural glow. Now, what I really would recommend, you can do the icing your face. It's a pretty low-cost thing. Why not? What I'd really recommend if you want to sort of have that glow in your skin is a cold shower. About a 30-second to 1-minute cold shower to start off with. And it's wintertime. Let me know below if your shower is cold, because mine is like actually cold. I was up in Tahoe. I did some cold showers. That's actually cold up there. So that was great. That will give you that glow that you're looking for. But so icing your skin, yeah, totally good. This question is Brendan. I've removed many inflammatory foods. Basically what he's saying, I've removed seed oils. I've removed, processed grain, and I'm still dealing with acne. What do I do? This is a question I get sometimes. Now, I get thousands of DMs from people that have removed these foods or dialed in their diet a bit and found what works for their skin, and that's amazing. I get a lot of those. People have completely fixed their skin just by changing their diet. Wow. But sometimes those pesky cases still stick around. Here is what I would do. You need to get some lab testing done. You can get a lab test done where they look at your gut health, they look at your hormone health, they look at your immune function, and if anything is really out of whack, it can massively affect your skin. What I do is I work with my doctor, Dr. Justin, at Justin Health on Instagram. If you mention Santa Cruz, I'll give you a free vitamin D test, but I don't really work with him like that. He's just my guy. That's who I go to. What you'd probably want to do is find a good functional medicine doctor to do lab work with, and they will review the lab results with you and tell you a specific protocol. Like I just got my gut panel done that I try to do every year, and it's like, oh, these 3 strains of bacteria that are bad are a bit high, and these 2 that are good are a bit low. So what can we do to dial that in? There's specific foods you can eat. There's different supplements you can take. Oh, your digestive enzymes are a little low. Why don't you take a digestive enzyme for a few weeks? And I'm doing that right now, and I feel amazing. But it's going to be specific to you. So how to go about finding a functional medicine doc, it's tough, man. I really don't have perfect direction there for you. It's not cheap either, but this is the honest truth. I mean, this is where we're at with the healthcare system today. Brendan, young guys in society today seem to lack a sense of purpose. What do you think? They absolutely do, and it is tough out there, and the reason is you're inundated with all this knowledge from the internet. People just don't know oftentimes what to do. They're overwhelmed by it. And I don't know what it does to the brain to grow up with the internet and short form content, but it doesn't appear to be working out for people. They seem just paralyzed by there's so much out there, yet they do nothing. The problem is, and Dr. Andrew Huberman and David Goggins just talked about this on a podcast, there is a literal part of your brain that appears to grow when you do stuff that you don't want to do, okay? And I feel like this part of the brain in young men especially is not getting worked at all. You need to constantly be in a war every day where you need to better yourself. I do not understand how some people wake up and they aren't in this constant war to get better. This is how you need to live your life. And it's okay to take a day off. It's okay to go through periods where you're not crushing it. But if you aren't in that mindset of I need to make more money, I need to get in better shape, I need to better my life, I need to learn more stuff, I need to figure this the fuck out. And if that's not your ideology, if that's not your mentality, then you're screwed. I don't know what to tell you. Brendan, as a woman, how do I increase my sex drive? So a healthy human being is a horny human being. And that's just the facts. If you're young, you should have a relatively high sex drive. And this is because as human beings, we are built to procreate. And so this is something that with a healthy human being, as I said, you're going to have that. Now, there are some things you can take. We'll start out with supplements. We'll start with lifestyle stuff. Gelatinized maca root. Gelatinized maca root, anybody that's taken it knows that it significantly increases that feeling. And that's a healthy feeling to have. Another thing is Tongat Ali. Tongat Ali can be used by men and women. Another supplement is L-citrulline. L-citrulline increases blood flow, which is amazing for just pumps at the gym, but anything that increases blood flow, it doesn't just target one area of your body. It's going to increase blood flow down there, which is very key for arousal and stimulation. So I would look into L-citrulline supplementation. If what's sort of blocking you is sort of like stress and anxiety, you can look into supplements like L-theanine and magnesium. Those can help. So can a supplement called GABA, G-A-B-A. That can help. Now, if you have some deeper issues, you might need to go get some lab testing. If you have some thyroid issues or severe hormone issues, that can be a problem. Lifestyle stuff, you want to make sure you have a diet full of healthy fats, as that helps the endocrine system or your hormone system function properly. A lot of guys, I can only speak to this, but guys know the feeling after you crush a big steak. Usually you feel pretty good. So look into that type of stuff and stay healthy. Brendan, I'm not dialed in at all. How would you start in terms of working out and diet? What would you start with? The first thing I would start with is diet, of course. If you can't dial in your hand to your mouth, then you're just screwed in life. You need to stick to a 30-day plan of eating well, whatever that means to you. It's all I talk about. I think you can gather a lot of information from me on that, but you need to just cut out the obvious things that are bad. Soda, chips, processed food. Start upping the amount of protein you eat and dial in your diet, because it's actually going to give you the energy that you need to start to go to the gym. When you start to go to the gym, man, I'm actually not going to go on a David Goggins rant to you here. Start out easy, man. Start out easy. Go to the gym, start walking on the incline treadmill, just lifting a little bit of weights, nothing crazy. Start stretching, learn your body. And if you have that diet dialed in, you just start doing that, you're going to start to notice more energy, and that's when you start to ramp it up. That's when you start to learn a workout program. That's when you start to lift weights 3 times a week hard, and you start to do cardio 3 times a week hard. And then your body will start craving that protein, craving that food. And if you stick to that for 90 days, people will start complimenting you on your appearance. You will start feeling better. You'll start sleeping better. Your mental focus will be better. People will start treating you different. And it becomes an addiction. It becomes a spiral upwards instead of this spiral downwards that many people are stuck in. Everybody that's listening to me right now that's in good shape and has felt this knows that you spiral upwards. Why, after I record this podcast, do I want to eat really well? Well, because I hit a savage back and triceps day and I have jiu-jitsu later. I'm not going to eat bad because I want to do those things because they make me feel good. It spirals up. Get on that spiral. Brendan, do the stores give you permission to film inside of them when I go film my grocery store content? The answer is no. We just go in there, just bareface, and we just film, bro. We just do it. And this is like a thing that I get asked a lot. And it's like with some stuff, like if you want to go film some content or do something in life, as long as it's not hurting people, which I do not think we're hurting people or, harming people in any way when we're in the store filming, just go do it. This idea that you need to ask permission for everything, you got to get out of this as a man. You ask permission here, ask permission here. Like even with my friends that some people have a girlfriend or partner who like force them to ask permission for everything. Obviously, you should have open communication with your girlfriend or wife. But as a man, you can't ask permission for every little thing or else that becomes a cycle. I don't ask permission to go film in the grocery store. We get kicked out all the time. Many grocery stores. I've been kicked out of pretty much every grocery store I've filmed in. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes they come up and they go, yo, I love your content. So it is what it is, but no, we just do our thing. Brendan, what supplements would you recommend for a person with type 2 diabetes? So something I would look at if I had type 2 diabetes would be alpha-lipoic acid. When you Google alpha-lipoic acid, it's spelled, you will see that it helps with blood sugar regulation. Another supplement that I'd probably look into is N-acetylcysteine, which helps with liver function. It's a supplement I think a lot of people should be taking, in my opinion. Another supplement that I would look towards is astaxanthin. Astaxanthin's pretty cool, and it can help manage blood sugar. And if you combine it with omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to help with type 2 diabetes symptoms, that could be a good idea there. Magnesium is another one that's critical in its involvement with blood sugar regulation. So definitely get a magnesium supplement. There's some right there. Let me know if that helped you. All right, guys, that is it for this week's AMA. Go grab some goodies on Amazon. protein selling fast. The pre-workouts flying. Electrolytes are flying. Beef tallow should be back in stock soon. So if you're watching this, go check if that beef tallow is in stock, because that sells very fast. I appreciate you guys so much. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.